For the record, I would like it noted that I will not be wearing my mask so that everyone could hear me clearly. I would like to call to order this meeting, 9 o'clock. At this time, we will have the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilmember Brad Childs. Would you please rise?
Father, through your word, you remind us you are always with us. You tell us, do not fear, but that we should hold on to you tighter. Please be patient with us, Father, as our faith may be tested, but you know our grip on your hand becomes stronger each day. You are our only true refuge through the storms that surround us. Not just storms of the earth, but storms in our hearts, minds, and souls. You teach us that all these events of 2020 will not last forever, that we as believers in you are passing through these events. You are bigger than any storm we face.
Yes.
Thank you, Father, for your promise that we who believe in you shall come through this time as gold. Thank you, Father, for the treasure we discover in each other in our community, for our strength we find in each other. Together, we are gold. Bless this meeting today, all those present, as well as the lives of all those we will encounter afterward. Ready us to make every moment count. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Number 3, motion. 3A, motion finding that the advance posting and notice requirements of Article 8.1200 of the Code of Ordinance of the City of Orange, Texas, have been met in relation to all minutes and pending ordinances and resolutions on this agenda, and that the reading of such items be confined to the captions as are agreed upon by the ordinances and resolution. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Mazzola Hennigan, and I have a second by Brad Childs. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The motion passes. 4, approval of minutes. 4A, July 28, 2020, Orange Economic Development Corporation meeting. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion by Paul Birch. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Caroline. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The motion passes. 4B, September 22nd, 2020, regular city council meeting. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second. I have a motion by Childs. I have a second by McKenna. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The motion passes. Number 5, citizen comment. At this time, comments will be taken from the audience on any subject matter, whether or not that item is on the agenda. All comments are limited to the maximum 3 minutes for each speaker. Your comments are appreciated, as the Texas Open Meetings Act does not allow the council to respond to items not listed on the agenda. Your comments will be duly noted by the council and forwarded to the appropriate department for prompt consideration. A member of the audience that desires to speak during the city council's consideration of any specific agenda item is requested to notify city staff prior to the start of the meeting. I have Mr. Brandon Hilton. Please approach the podium and please state your address so we will have record.
Right. Name and address, please.
And repeat your name and address, please, for record.
Yeah, my name is Brandon Hilton. My address is 29306 Lake Commons Way in Huffman, 77336.
Thank you. You may begin.
First off, I want to thank you all for allowing me to speak here today. And Councilwoman Salters, when we talked before about inviting me to come up to do this. My name is Brandon Hilton. I'm the owner of STX Roofing and Construction. Basically, coming here just to explain like what we're here to do. We're here to help homeowners and business owners with their property needs from all the storms that have come through. And the biggest thing with this is working with a company that's going to be honest and transparent on all the way through with every one of their needs. I've heard nothing but horror stories about everything that happened after Rita. People that are going through stuff right now with other companies that are, less than reputable about what they're doing. We're extremely transparent, like I said. And the last thing we want to hear about is about companies that are offering to do repairs with things that are like nothing out of pocket for your costs, and the next thing you know, you pay them up front and you never hear from them again. That's not what we're here to do. We'll come out and evaluate properties, give you honest feedback on the condition of your properties, and provide guidance and options on how to proceed with getting your repairs done. With integrity is the biggest thing with that. Companies shouldn't be collecting anything up front. We don't collect a dime until we actually show up to start doing work or upon completion of work, because we want people to feel very comfortable as they're going through it on knowing that they're getting the right company and the right warranties and the right things that they're getting. We've done work here before. All the storms came through. I have ties here personally. My brother lives here, works here. We've done work before. We're going to do work after. We're doing all work now. So just one of those things that we just wanted to introduce ourselves to the council, let them know what we're here for, and if anybody needs anything, we're here to help in any way possible. Again, I thank you for everything and allowing me to speak here today.
Thank you.
Thank
Is there anyone else who would like to address the council?
Yes, I'm Kelvin Nah, 1402 Brandy Lane. It's my esteemed honor to introduce Mr. Marvin Benoit, who's our new building official. He comes to us after serving as deputy building official in Beaumont, and we're really glad to have him. And then also, it's my esteemed honor to introduce Rita Monson, who is our new grants planner. And she's a Orange native, and she's doing very well, and we're really glad to have her too.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Nah. Is there anyone else who would like to address the council at this time? If not, citizen comments is now.
Ms. Salter.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you.
Yes, ma'am. My name's Carl Fraxine. I live at 1720 North 17th Street. I have a property there by Premier Car Wash, and I keep complaining about the loud music. There's drug dealings going on. There's been shooting going on over there at that property, and I need to get it addressed before somebody gets hurt. And it's not right. I know y'all have a city ordinance. Whatever y'all have to do to the owners of that property at Premier Car Wash, or the city needs to put up signs. I know they got an ordinance on loud noise. 4 o'clock in the morning, boom, 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 all during the night. Not every night. There's always something going on over there. I called the police. I called yesterday. The lady was kind of rude. I said, thank you. She just hung up on me. But I need to get this addressed because it's very frustrating when you're watching a movie, your window starts rattling because of the bass going on over there, the loud music.
Where's the car wash there?
Premier Car Wash, it's on 16th Street in Chapman.
Okay.
And I really appreciate y'all's time.
What is your name again?
Carl, K-A-R-L, Fragstein, F-R-A-G-S-T-E-I-N.
And the address?
1720 17th Street, Orange, Texas.
Okay.
And I also rent out the property. And I cannot keep tenants there because of the loud music. I moved in it because I had, the tenants moved out and I moved in it. So I'm now living there again.
Is that the one by the church?
Yes, sir. And I appreciate y'all's time.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the council at this time? So at this time, citizens' comment is now closed at 9:09 a.m. At this time, number 6, city announcement. 6A, updates on any city events. Mr. Coons. Oh, Leanne.
Good morning, Council.
Good
My name is
morning.
Leanne
Good morning.
Dallas. I am the events manager for the CVB. And as you know, I started last October, so we haven't really had much of a chance to host too many events since then. But we decided to get a little creative. We saw a lot of CVBs having trouble, and we didn't want to just kind of sit by and wait for this to end because we're not sure when it's going to end. If you remember in April, we did the April Acoustic Series and had virtual concerts via our Facebook, our city Facebook, every, I believe it was Wednesday. And so starting last week, we have started a how-to series, and they're just short videos that we have filmed basically on how to do things, and we hope it encourages, family time, activities, basically with things that you can do at your house, or hopefully that you already have at your house, so they won't be a big cost, but just to promote, again, activities within the family and together time and things like that. Last week we did the how to tie-dye a t-shirt. And then tonight at 7 p.m. we will have how to bake pumpkin seeds since it's Halloween. So a lot of them are going to be seasonal based, holiday based, and we're learning as we go. So that's kind of what the CVB is doing right now. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
that
you.
update.
Chief Brown's going to update us on an event at the
Okay.
fire department.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, Chief Brown.
So, ordinarily we try to have our open house for the fire department, but obviously with this year with COVID, we're not able to do that. So what we're gonna have is basically a drive-through trunk or treat, if you wanna call it that. And it'll be from 5 till either 8 or until we run out of supplies. We've actually included a map on there the way that we want people to drive. But in addition to ours, I know the police department is having drive-through as well, and so is the library. So that'll give the kids something safe to do within the area.
Okay,
Thank
thank you,
you.
Chief. Thank you all for the updates. The date,
What day, Chief Brown?
October 31st.
Okay, thank you.
At this time, I will be moving the items in section 9 to this part of the agenda. 9, discussion, action. 9A, discussion and possible action regarding the CDBG mitigation draft application for posting WWTP improvements. Mr. Wolf.
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem and Council, thank you very much. We're excited about having the opportunity to go after 3 separate grants, each approximately valued at about $10 million for a total of $30 million. We're also excited about working with a new grants administrator, contractor for the city, Trailer and Associates, and Melinda Smith with Trailer is here this morning to help present these 3 different grant applications. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Melinda Smith.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm going to take this off, that's okay, just so that y'all can understand me. I know it's a little muffled. First of all, I appreciate the opportunity to be here with y'all today. I hate that it's taken me this long to come introduce myself. I've been working with the city kind of behind the scenes for a few months now, and I want to thank the staff. They are doing a great job, especially given the circumstances and the obstacles that keep getting thrown in the way. They have worked very hard to make sure that these programs have stayed moving forward to give you the best opportunity that you have for funding. The CDBG MIP program is new to the state of Texas, and it's big. It's the pot of money we were all waiting for. The intent is to have large projects that make a meaningful impact to communities, and that's what we're presenting today is 3 of the projects that have been identified to meet some serious needs and mitigate future damages and suffering of residents during future storm events. So the first application is the wastewater treatment plant improvement project. And it is approximately $9 million and some change. And the match requirement for that project would be just under $100,000 at $92,233. That would actually harden the facility to make sure that it remains operational and reduce I&I, environmental concerns, make sure that the sewage is not backing up into people's homes. We all know that's, horrifying in thought, period, but then also, the damages that are caused from that, during flooding's bad, flooding with raw sewage is even worse. So that's the first priority, is trying to get the wastewater treatment plant improved to prevent those damages from happening.
I move that we approve the draft application for posting of the wastewater treatment improvement project.
I have a motion by
Second.
Caroline. I have a second by Mr. Birch. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. The motion passes. 9B, discussion and possible action regarding the CDBG mitigation draft application for posting water system improvements. Mr. Wood. Or Ms. Smith?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so one other thing I'll add, just to make sure everybody is aware of the process. These will go up on the city's website today with a notice of how to comment. It is a 14-day comment period to give the citizens the opportunity to make suggestions, recommendations, comments, express concerns, whatever they see fit. And that comment period will remain open through, 14 days, which I believe ends the 26th. And then the next step would be I'll be back here on the 27th to either discuss comments received or have the application approved for final submittal. So sorry, I'll throw that out there. And then this project is for the construction of new wells and storage tanks to ensure that the city maintains adequate capacity and pressure during storms. It's also going to include a generator at the production site to ensure continuous operation, not just during flooding, but also wind events.
Okay. Do we have a possible action?
I move we approve the draft application for posting on the water system improvement project.
Okay. I have a second motion.
I second.
Okay. I have a first by Charles, second by McKenna. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The motion passes. 9C, discussion and possible action regarding CDBG mitigation draft application for posting public facilities improvements. Ms. Smith.
Me again, sorry. So finally, this is the third and final application that will be submitted, and it is to reconstruct or rebuild a new facility for the Public Works fleet and equipment storage, maintenance. Ultimately, it will provide a location for the city, first responders, volunteers, everything to be able to fuel equipment and vehicles during any kind of rescue operations, cleanup operations. That's kind of the biggest part, but the other benefit was that it's something that y'all needed as well. So it will serve two purposes. One, an everyday use, and then also a emergency responder use.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a possible action?
I'll make a motion, we accept it.
Have a first motion? You have to read.
Okay. I move that we approve the draft application for posting for the Public Facilities Improvements Project.
Okay,
Second.
okay. I have a first by Birch. I have a second by Brad Childs. Any further discussion?
I just want to say how exciting all this is. I mean, we all seen so much water in our homes and in our streets, and the possibility of this is just really exciting.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. The motion passes.
Thank y'all for all your work.
Thank y'all, and again, I appreciate all of the efforts that the city staff has gone to make sure this has moved forward. And like I said, despite all the different challenges y'all have had, so
Yes,
I
ma'am.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much for
Thank
speaking.
you so much.
And she's got to go to She's got to go to her next meeting. That's why we moved it up. Thank you for
so
doing
much.
that.
9D, consider a motion acknowledging the review and adoption of the revised purchasing policy for the City of Orange. Mrs. Cheryl Zito.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
So, with the advisement of our grant administrator, which is Traylor Associates, Melinda, they have looked through our policies. In the purchasing policy, they found that we needed a little extra language in there to meet the federal guidelines, just to be safe. So they added some language to specifically address procurement procedures for grant contracts. And this section is on page 21 of our policy, if you wanted to read through it. And it's called Procurement Policies and Procedures for Federal Grants. So we just need to add that to our policy and re-adopt this policy.
Okay, yes, ma'am, thank you. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
I have a first motion by Paul, second motion by Brad. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The motion passes. Thank you. 9E, consider a motion acknowledging the review and adoption of the revised financial policy for the City of Orange. Mrs. Cheryl Zito.
Yes, and so this one, they also had some additions for our financial policy, and they added some language for the advance payment requirements and procedures. That begins on page 22. It's just more language just to make sure we comply with all the regulations.
Yes, ma'am. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. I have a first motion by Childs, second by McKenna. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The motion passes. 9F, consider a motion approving action taken by the Orange EDC in the form of a motion of an intent approving the EDC incentive for Tarver Performance Marine LLC, 2112 DuPont Drive, Orange, Texas, for eligible infrastructure improvements in the amount not to exceed $150,000. Mr. Trahan.
Yes, thank you. What I'd like to do is call your attention to this rendering to my left and to your right, which is the rendering for the proposed project. Cody and Ashley Tarver with Tarver Performance Marine have committed to do this new project. It's located on DuPont Drive, 2112 DuPont Drive, right before you get to Lottie's Landing in the Orange Boating Club. The project is proposed at a roughly a $440,000 capital investment. There will be 4 full-time jobs initially to kick off the project, and the city EDC earlier discussed this project in detail, and what is proposed at this point is a EDC incentive grant not to exceed $150,000 that will go to eligible infrastructure improvements for the project. There's another rendering of the current site as it stands now, so you can see what a transformation it will make in the Cove area of the City of Orange once the project is completed. So that's what's before you today. The city EDC took action in terms of a motion of intent at a public hearing. We'll be working with the Germer Law Firm in terms of a development agreement over the next 60 days. State law mandates a 60-day waiting period before we come back and actually execute the agreement. So this is another step in the process. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you. Any questions?
No questions?
Thank you, Mr. Trahan.
Okay.
A motion we approve to accept the amount of $150,000 for this project.
Second.
Do I have a first motion by Childs, second motion by Birch. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Trahan. I will now transition back to section 7 of the agenda. 7, public hearing at 9:24. 7A, conduct a public hearing on substandard structures to be demolished through the city's Community Development Block Grant Program. The infrastructures proposed for demolition are 1, 311 Massachusetts, number 2, 1011 14th Street, number 3, 1306 Cherry Avenue, Number 4, 1110 13th Street. Number 5, 2313 4th Street. Number 6, 2309 7th Street. Number 7, 2310 7th Street. Number 8, 1202 13th Street. Number 9, 95 Cherry Avenue. Number 10, 404 Cypress Avenue. Number 11, 310 Dakota Street. Number 12, 1805 Mississippi. Number 13, 204 Rhode Island Street. Number 14, 1109 3rd Street. 15, 409 Arkansas Street. I now open up the meeting with the public hearing. Mrs. Monsoon.
Yes, the city staff has developed this list that we believe are substandard and not economically feasible to try and bring them up to code. None of the structures have any historic value. The demolition of these properties will be paid through with CDBG funds.
Yes, ma'am.
As part of the CDB requirements, the public hearing is being conducted today for the proposed demolition in order to receive the public input. The public hearing is also part of the floodplain management and Section 106 process of the environmental clearance, as well as compliance with our citizens' participation plan.
Would anyone like to speak regarding the properties? If there is no one else to speak, the public hearing is now closed at 9:26 a.m. Thank you. Number 8, resolutions. 8A, consider a resolution authorizing the city manager to accept the partial funds awarded by the General Land Office, GLO, for grant funds to be utilized for infrastructure projects. Chief Brown.
Council, this is some of the projects that we've looked at before that y'all are aware of, and part of it is the Cooper's Gully and the fire truck and some of the other items like that. So this is just the reading on that for the approval, because we did receive partial award for this.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion by Childs. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Caroline. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The resolution passes. 8B, consider a resolution authorizing the city participation in and acceptance of the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development Community Development Block Grant Award $348,416 for the Community Development Block Grant Year 2020 federal funding, authorizing the city manager to sign all documents accepting the grant and providing an effective date. Mrs. Monsoon.
Yes, this is our Community Development Block Grant Program budget. Administration will get $69,682. Code enforcement will be $111,474. Our public services grants will be to the Greater Orange Area Literacy Service for $6,400. Jackson Community Center for $6,000. The Julie Rogers Gift of Life for $3,860. Orange Christian Services at $12,000. Orange Community Action, which is Meals on Wheels, for $13,000.
Sorry.
The Southeast Texas Hospice is at $5,000, and Stable Spirit for $6,000. Two of our projects that we have that we're going to work on is the Strickland Water Tower Rehabilitation at $50,000, and the Brownwood Park Rehabilitation and Upgrade for $65,000. So we're asking that this be accepted.
Thank you.
I'm going to recuse myself from discussion or vote on this issue since I would benefit from it.
Yes, ma'am. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
I have a first motion by Caroline. I have a second motion by Paul. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The resolution passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Consider a resolution, number 8C. Consider a resolution for the City Council of the City of Orange, Texas, authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with J.B. and Group Services, LLC, for the demolition of municipal property at 1220 DuPont Drive and 240 Campus Drive, Old Cove School. Mr. Knopf.
Yes, so yes, ma'am, the city has received 6 bids for the demolition of the Old Cove School, which we now own in its entirety. And the low bid was JB and Group Services LLC in the amount of $137,999, and they meet all the bid specifications.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I'd like to make that motion.
Second.
I would love to make that motion.
I have the first motion by Mary, the second motion by Paul. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The resolution passes.
Ms. Salter, before we move on,
Yes.
what's our timeline on the demolition?
They bid 40 days, so 40 days after we sign the contract, then that's their time limit for the demolition.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Hopefully-
8D.
Thank you.
Consider a resolution awarding the contract to Elite Contractors and Equipment in the amount of $287,980 for the Meeks Drive ditch improvement. Mr. Wolf.
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem, Council, thank you. We opened bids on this capital improvement project that was funded in fiscal year 2020 on September the 16th. We accepted 3 bids. They range from $287,000 up to $558,000. We recommend award to the low bid to Elite Constructors of Kirbyville in the amount of $287,980.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Have a first motion by Childs. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Caroline. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The resolution passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we will have reports. Number 10, City Manager's Report. Mr. Combs.
Thank you, Ms. Salter. There will be a joint City Council and Planning and Zoning Commission meeting to conduct public hearings on a final plat and on amending the zoning ordinance tonight at 5:30 here at the City Council chambers. Also, as you probably noticed as you're walking in, it is early voting kicked off. So please try to take the opportunity to go vote. And also, as y'all know, Hurricane Delta paid our area a visit. Fortunately for the city of Orange, it hit, and unfortunately for our friends in Louisiana, it went more easterly than coming over us. Again, so they got the double dose of Laura 6 weeks ago in Delta. There's still damage to our city. The county's debris contractor is out now picking up debris from Laura. I know the county's trying to say separate your Delta and Laura debris. So we encourage folks to do that, however logistically that may happen. But they are out there cleaning those things up, the debris contractor. Mr. Wolf and I talked to their folks yesterday, and they are, again, continuing to do that. And again, no reports of major damage to the city. I'm sure there's some 1s or 2s out there that, a tree might have damaged it. But once again, I think we're overall fortunate that we dodged yet another bullet, and I think we all hope that 2020 gets over quickly and we move on to better times. But that's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, 10B, City Council Report, starting to my right.
Good morning. Thank you, Jim, for working so hard on the mitigation grant drafts. That was amazing work. I looked at all of it. I appreciate that. It's much needed for Orange. I want to thank everyone that sent cards and condolences for the loss of my father. It meant the world to me to see the community reach out to me. Bless y'all all. And I do have one street that keeps coming up. I know we've had a storm, but this was before the storm. Is Inner Street is being used as a dumping ground for old cars, construction debris. And I did promise the citizen I would bring that up. That's all I have. Thank y'all.
What street, Brad? Inner?
Inner.
Okay.
Mary?
I'm sorry, I forgot you were sitting over there.
I was being too quiet.
But you would be over there.
It's unusual, huh? Good morning, everybody. I just want to say thank you to all the city employees who obviously through this meeting It's very clear that y'all are working diligently and hard in spite of all of the wonderful visitors we've had lately, including Laura and Delta and all those wonderful hurricanes that have come our way. So I really do appreciate the hard work of the city staff. And all of the council is just worked so hard the entire time to keep the city functional. So I just want to say kudos to the city staff.
Thank you.
I'll second that. And I have no further report. Thank you.
Paul?
I third that, and I have nothing to report. Thank you.
Ms. Salter, can I get what we call an alibi? I did forget one thing before we, according to our latest communication with Orange County, we are ready to de-annex West Bluff Road and turn over those funds so that they can accept it and move that further down the line.
That's great news.
So hopefully, we'll see that on the council agenda, hopefully in October.
Okay, thank you. Great news. I would like to just thank everyone for coming out during this difficult time, and please keep Mayor Pro Tem Pullen in your prayers along with others who may be dealing with an illness and the issues from the hurricane. Please continue to do your part to follow the safety guidelines for COVID-19 so that you can stay safe during this pandemic. And to our fellow residents, I ask that y'all all stay encouraged because a lot of us are going through this difficult time. Thank you to our Mayor Spears and our city manager, Mr. Coons, for keeping us updated on the latest news during the storm. And thank you to our staff, all our staff and officials for doing a great job. Thank you. We will now go to 11 and adjourn to a closed executive session at 9:37.
Mike? Terry's.
Yes, ma'am, we're ready.
Okay. At this time, I reconvene in open session at 9:47. Take action as necessary regarding 11A1 and 11A2 above. 12A, consider a resolution of the City Council of the City of Orange, Texas, authorizing the city manager to execute a contract between the International Association of Firefighters, Local 1432, and the City of Orange, Texas. Mr. Coons.
Ms. Salter, Council, again, as presented in your packet, the city and the Firefighters Association has come to an agreement on a one-year collective bargaining agreement.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
I have a first by Birch, second by Ms. Caroline. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed say nay. The resolution passes. 12B, consider a resolution of the City Council of the City of Orange, Texas, authorizing the city manager to execute a contract between the Orange Municipal Police Association and the City of Orange, Texas. Mr. Coons.
Similarly, the city and the police association has come to an agreement on a one-year collective bargaining agreement, and it is included in your council binder.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a first
Second.
by Mr. Birch, second by Ms. Caroline. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. The resolution passes. We have an amendment to the agenda. 12.1, discussion. 12A, consider a motion starting and ending the City of Orange disaster pay policy in response to Hurricane Delta as found in the City of Orange Personnel Policies and Procedures, Chapter 5, Compensation and Benefits, Section 25, Disaster Pay Policy for the Declaration of Disaster signed by the Mayor of the City of Orange effective at 4 p.m. on October 8, 2020. Starting the disaster pay on Friday, October the 9th, 2020 at 6 a.m. and ending the disaster pay on Saturday, October 10th, 6 a.m. Mr. Coons.
Thank you, Ms. Salter and council. Again, unfortunately, this is probably about the third time we've been here this year to enact the disaster pay policy. And as y'all probably recall, it does take council's formal action to start and end it. And again, as discussed with the staff and the employees prior to this, is the recommendation would be to start Friday at 6 a.m. Fortunately, the event pretty much ended, the event being the storm, around 9-10 p.m. Friday night. So again, it's my recommendation that it ends Saturday, October the 10th at 6 a.m.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Have a motion by Caroline. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a second by Mary. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The motion passes. 13, adjournment. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Do you need this?
Motion.
Motion.
I have a first by Caroline, a second by Brad. Meeting is adjourned.